Transition Awareness Breathing. Feeling grounded for both children and parents is essential for healthy living and learning. Join Eartha Powell on this series for tips and tools for creating a harmonious environment for learning. Transition Awareness Breathing will help you and your child find an individualized path to tackle change, promote lifelong learning, and discover new approaches to calmness.
Hi, this is Eartha. Have you ever had one of those nights where you just couldn't get to sleep? Or you were asleep and you woke up, had to go to the bathroom, or thoughts of what's going to go on the next day just kind of woke you up, and you tossed and you turned, and the next thing you know, it's daytime. And now you have to get up, and you just feel drained. Is there a mindfulness tool for that? Join me and let's talk about mindful sleep. Hi, welcome to Transition Awareness Breathing Podcast. This is Eartha. I'd like to start us off today with a riddle. What is something that most people want more of, yet most people can't get enough of? Okay, did you guess? All right. Well, that's what our podcast is going to be about. The answer to the riddle is sleep. Did anyone say money or space or... Well, and that all may be true as well. But today, we're going to talk about how to sleep mindfully. And what this is focused on is to bring our awareness to our body when we're trying to go to sleep. Statistics show, according to mindfulness.org, states that 80% of Americans are sleep deprived. That number is pretty high, considering for adults, most adults should get anywhere from 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So what's keeping us awake at night? Well, anxiety, worries, anticipations. Those are the distractors and the drainers. They suck the energy out of us. Did you know that stress and anxiety can prevent our body from healing? Well, if you kind of think about it, if we are awake and we're not allowing our bodies to rest and to go into those different states of sleep, the body is continually working. It's not allowed to recharge. As a result, we may become moody, have a decrease in concentration, our memory may suffer. It may be very hard for us to pay attention to simple things. Sleep deprivation can also be a contributing factor to gaining extra unwanted pounds. And this is according to Dr. Matthew Walker of the University of California in Berkeley. And so getting to sleep can be a big problem for many people. But let's face it, sometimes it's kind of hard. I mean, we're so busy. There's so much to do. And although we have the technology to do more, what is it costing as far as ourselves in recharging? I'd like to share some tips that may help you get to a more quality sleep and rest. So how about taking mindfulness a little bit closer to bedtime? So according to mindfulness.org, here are some tips. If you find that you cannot go to sleep after 20 minutes, it's just best to get up. Try not to force yourself to go to sleep. You know, you're laying there and you're closing your eyes, and then you find yourself tossing, turning. That attempt to force yourself to go to sleep is just keeping you more awake, because our tendency is like a push-pull effect. So it's just best to get up. And so what do we do if we get up? It's a great time to maybe get some water to hydrate ourselves, to do a body scan. And it is suggested to do the body scan away from your bedroom. Preserve your bedroom, your area of sleep, as this is the place where I will rest. And so anything that does not help you go to sleep should not be in the bedroom. And what I am leading up to is our devices, computers, smartphones, smart pads. Just the presence of our devices close to us are distracting. And they've done research on this very factor in an article that I read about teens. And so this information I'm passing on to you is not just for teens, it's for everyone. So it's recommended to put your devices to bed. Another suggestion is to start a sleep routine a few hours before you go to bed. That may include, turning down the lights, doing a body scan. Avoid heavy exercising at night or a few hours before you go to bed, because a lot of times when we exercise, we are generating our awareness and our alertness. So we want to participate in activities that's going to bring us into a natural sleep. And with that emphasis on natural sleep, and they recommend it in mindfulness.org, is don't rely on sleep apps to be like something that will sedate you to sleep. Because what we're trying to do in the mindfulness perspective is fall into a natural sleep. What happens if the app crashes and you've built yourself on, I'm going to listen to my app, or maybe the phone dies? I mean, how many times has that happened to me? And that is an area of frustration. And I totally relate to this. A couple of weeks ago, my phone was slow, the computer was slow, and I did my night routine. But when I got ready to go to bed, I am telling you, the front thought that was on my brain was, how long is it going to take for my phone to finish loading something. I mean, it was like in spinning mode. And that was on my mind. And I had to let it go. And so when we are attempting to go to sleep, try to let distracting thoughts go. Think positive thoughts. So yes, it's easier said than done. We all can say that. But I encourage you to be open. As I told myself, there is nothing that I can do right now with the computer. The computer, at this time, it has the control. It is spinning. There's nothing I can do to make it faster. Everything is closed. So, I'm going to sleep. So, like talking yourself through this, or thinking about a time that is relaxing for you, maybe like on a vacation or you're at the beach, and maybe doing an imagery activity where you're laying on the beach and the sun is warm and, you're just, each part of your body is just melting into the sand and concentrating and bringing your focus to your breath. Pretending that you can hear the waves in the background, just back and forth, until you are lulled into a natural sleep. One other suggestion is when you're doing the body scan, I just thought it'd be kind of helpful to mention this because, if we're having a hard time going to sleep, we're probably a little bit tired and fatigued, maybe frustrated. So what I would suggest is as you're doing your body scan, concentrate first on the surface where you're sitting or wherever you're comfortable at. So you want to keep it simple, Then concentrate on the breath. So the surface, what does the surface feel like if you're sitting in a chair, if you're laying down? And then the breath. Just pay attention to the rhythm of the breath. Don't try to force yourself to change the breath. Try not to count your breath. Just pay attention to the rise and the fall of your body's movement as you breathe. And then begin the body scan from the tips of your toes. And just paying attention to the sensation in that area around your feet, around your ankles, any pressure, any tingling. And just letting it go. And if there's a distracting thought that pops into your brain, you just acknowledge it. We're not going to try to ignore it, because the more we try to ignore it, the more the thought will be there. So we just acknowledge it and let it pass. Just think of it like a train. Don't get on the train. Just let the train pass. And that's what distracting thoughts usually do. Reflect on your feelings and your thoughts. Have a sense of gratitude. Maybe it was a tough day. So we don't want to linger and ruminate over that part of the day that really got us stirred up. Instead, look at all the other things, the good things, the gratitude, the thankfulness that maybe you can focus on. And I've done this myself, and it is so true. And the next thing you know, you feel your body going into a state of natural sleep. But with that, I hope you have a beautiful, restful, and mindful sleep this evening. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Web Talk Radio, for allowing me to bring Transition Awareness Breathing Podcast to my listeners. Thank you, Mary Lou and Sam, for making Transition Awareness Breathing Podcast available to my listeners wherever they go. Have a peaceful and calm sleep.
Be sure and pick up a copy of Eartha's new book, Tab Mindfulness, Awareness and Coloring Activities in a Pandemic World. It's not just an ordinary coloring book. It features 23 illustrations to stimulate thought, relaxation, and creativity for anyone between the ages of 4 and 94. Increase your positive self-talk energy. Unlock new creative paths. Transform your time once or twice a week to create beautiful art while strengthening confidence, building positive self-talk, and sensitize self-awareness. Tab Mindfulness, Awareness and Coloring Activities in a Pandemic World. It's available now at Amazon.com.